my group. Okay, and we are live again. Hello, the Riviera Maya real estate community. How are you? I'm so happy to see you here, and it's makes me so happy to see that every week we are more and more and more people in this community. So thank you so much for joining us. I'm going to wait just a few more seconds to see if somebody is joining us on this live. Today we have a very important guest that I will present very soon. If you missed my previous interview with Sandra Pina, the lawyer, you should see this. That can really, really help you when you are about to close for some property and going to the transaction of closing. She's giving a really, really good tips. Also, another live that we had recently was with Carlos Ladron, that he gave awesome tips about how to flip, how to invest in the Riviera Maya, that also can give you a lot of sense. And every one of them, they gave a really, really good tips and some small present for you, like a giveaway that I think that will make a lot of sense for you to watch those lives. I think that really, just a minute. That will be my. Okay. So guys, if you're watching me live, just you can comment below where are you from, where you're watching us from. That will be super nice to see where you're watching us, and you can just comment that you're watching us live, and we can start. And I present today Ivan Machuca, that he is an expert in everything that is about vacation rental and property management. He's been working in the area for a long time. That's why I decided to invite him. And he's also representing Bacasa, that's his company, and he's going to present also his product. But more than everything, he's going to tell us about this industry of the vacational. Veronique, thank you so much for watching us. That's amazing that you're with us. And Ivan, how are you? Thank you so much for joining us.
Hello, everyone. Thank you very much, Hagar, for inviting me. I'm happy to be here, and I will be more than grateful to assist you for any question related short-term rentals.
Great. So can you tell us a bit about you? Where are you from? How long you've been doing this? A bit about your experience.
Yeah, of course. I'm from Mexico. I'm 36 years old. I'm working for Vacasa for almost 2 years. I'm doing this for close to 3 years, everything related with property management. And yeah, I really love my industry. I love what we're doing here at the Riviera Maya. And basically, I will be happy to assist you guys.
Amazing. So for those of you who are watching us and they have no idea what does it mean, a property management, can you please expand and explain us what does it mean, property management?
Yeah, this is actually a good topic because too many people, they don't have idea what is a property manager company doing. And what we basically do is we take care of everything related with your property in terms of maintenance, housekeeping, if we need to make some repairing, or if we also need to do some like everything related with installing services like internet, or if there is something like smart appliances you want to install. So this is what we do normally as a property manager company. But we also can go further. There are property care manager companies and short-term rentals property manager companies. So what we do with Vacasa is we do property management in terms of short-term rentals. So we prepare your property to be posted in platforms like Airbnb, Booking.com, VRBO, and so on, to be in short-term rentals for guests or vacationers that comes from for a really short period of time. And we provide them an experience where when they arrive to the property, everything is going to be ready, nice and steady, clean, and with all the amenities for all the guests, so they can just enjoy the property. And once they leave, we go back with the team to do the cleaning, to inspect that the property is in nice condition, that nothing is missing. And if something get damaged, then we go straight with the guest and we charge them for that thing that is missing or that is damaged. So that is basically what the property manager in short-term rentals is doing.
Okay. So in other words, you are helping your clients make money. on their investment.
Yeah, we basically, this is like a turnkey service where the investor already did the heaviest part, that is to buy or to acquire a property, and then we just run it on their behalf. We run everything through channels, we answer platforms and whatever it needs for the property. So the investor doesn't need to really care or get worried about. We answer everything, and our main idea is that the owner or the investor will only see the numbers that we are just making month by month.
Okay, that's really important. So I have another question, and I'm sure that the people who are watching us right now, they've been searching and investigating this market, and I'm sure that they've noticed that they are a lot of competition and a lot of offer and a lot of property management. And everybody are offering the best service and everybody are offering the best packages. But in your opinion, what will make property management to a good one? What will be the must features, the features that a property management just must have?
I think after talking with many clients, one of the biggest mistake that a property manager company is doing is not investing in technology. Why? Because as a homeowner that is abroad, right? That you invest in this property and then you want someone to manage. If they don't have a system where you can track as the owner what is happening on real time, then it's very difficult to make those numbers to have sense. Why? Unfortunately, in Mexico, and I think this is common in many different countries, but in Mexico particularly, when these companies, they don't have a tracking system, it means that as an owner, you don't know what is happening on real time to your property. Well, then bad practices just happen. What I mean is that sometimes they just post on Facebook, they just receive cash payments, and unfortunately, they don't report to the owner. So sometimes the investor, that it happened to me several times, they say, I have this beautiful property in a really nice location, but they just giving me less than $1,000 per month, or they are just renting 12 days a month, no more than 60 days a year. And what is really happening is that the property manager is just renting and making the money and only reporting few cents of what they're making. So what it is a must is that this company who is taking care of your property is providing a platform not only for the guests, but also for the owners. So once you have this and you have control of what is happening onto your property, how is your calendar, statements, occupancy rates, performance rates, then you don't need to worry about implementing smart locks and so on. You don't need to invest in cameras. You really need a property, a company that has invested in innovation and technology. So this is a must for every single investor and homeowner that want to put your property to make numbers. They really need to find a company that has these platforms. If they don't have it, they could offer a really cheap management fee, but if they don't have this system to track what is happening in your property, then you are just really giving away your investment. So this is a must that I will say, this is the big differentiators for all the companies.
I would say that it really, really makes sense to me anyway. Guys, if you're watching us and it makes sense to you also, just comment below. It makes sense that somebody is taking care of my property. I'm back home somewhere and I know exactly what's going on at my second home across the ocean. It really, really makes sense. So if we're talking about renting, let's dig in a bit and talk about real numbers. That you're inside this ocean, of numbers. So let's dig in and let's talk about what will be the rate per night, or how much money actually your clients can actually make when it comes to maybe a studio, one bedroom, two bedrooms.
Yeah, that's a tough one because, right, this is a really sensitive topic for all this, for all the real estate agents that sometimes they are just rely on a ROI, right? And but finally, when the investor is expecting for a huge return of investment and they give us the property, the thing is that we are the one who really operate those properties and make the numbers, and we can just sometimes show this discrepancy of what they were supposed to make according to the realtors and what is making according to what the companies like us who operate are really making. So in terms of numbers, let's try to be really transparent. And this is something that we do even with the customers and with the real estate agents. So in Quintana Roo, we're having a general occupancy of 65 to 75% of occupancy during the year. Of course, there are some spots in Cancun where we can go from 75 to 85% of occupancy during the year. So those are great numbers if we compare with other areas like Vallarta and Los Cabos. However, if we go into particular markets, yeah, Cancun is showing 75 to 85% occupancy. Playa del Carmen is making something around 60 to 75% of occupancy. And then Tulum is making more or less 55 to 65 occupancy during the year. Then if we go into the numbers, of course, this is a really interesting phenomena, but what is the most expensive in terms of daily rates is going to be Tulum. The second one is going to be Cancun, and then the third one, Playa del Carmen. So for an instant, a one bedroom or studio in Tulum will have a price of $71 to $75, when the one in Cancun will be around $68 to $72, and then the one in Playa will be $65 normally and to $67. Then if we go into the two bedrooms category, we can jump around $145 to $175 in Tulum. And then we have Cancun, that is $140 to $165. And then we have Playa del Carmen, that is from $125 to $145 also. So yeah, this is it sounds strange about the prices, but basically it is how the industry is moving, and it is not only Vacasa's number, but is if you look into the RDNA, Airbnb, and Booking.com, this is basically the numbers we have. And by the way, we have around 300 properties in Cancun, Riviera Maya, and so on. So we basically have big numbers to make a comparison of what is happening in the industry. Moreover, we have an algorithm that detects what is the price of the units near from us. There are two bedrooms, one bedroom that works with Airbnb, VRBO, and Booking.com. So our prices are well determined. So this is basically what is happening right now in Quintana Roo.
Thank you so much. And you made a very important comment. And for those who are watching us and right now are in the market of searching for their dream home and are in contact with a realtor. So it's two different, we are talking about two different sides. The realtor always wants to give you the highest prices or the highest numbers. And when it comes to the reality, that's why Ivan is here to give us the real numbers after years of experience and with more than 300 properties that he's renting. So he gives us the real numbers that you can understand when somebody is giving you numbers like 90% of the occupancy in the year. So you know that it's not true. And if somebody is giving you $120 per night in Playa del Carmen, so you know it's not true. So I'm so happy that Ivan is here and giving us real numbers that can help you as buyer to understand if you're talking to a real realtor that understands the market or just somebody who wants to make the sale and take his commission back home. That's it. So thank you so much for being honest. I think that it's the most important thing here.
One additional point that I would like to mention is that if you have a property, if you just acquire a property and you're wondering how much could you just make if you do short-term rentals, we will be more than happy to assist you, providing your revenue projection. Is free of charge. You just need to send me a text or through Agar. You can just send her like the request, and I will be happy to provide you those numbers. We run this algorithm from the States. Vacasa is an American company. So we do all these numbers from the States, and then we can provide to you within 36 hours. And the idea here is to give you the real numbers and provide you accurate information. For us, we try to be really transparent of what we can really make, because otherwise we're going to lose you very, very soon. So what we try to make is like, of course, if you acquire a property and it's brand new, but then you have a neighbor that has been in Airbnb for almost 6 months or 12 months, and you say, Ivan, why you are rating me in $70 when my neighbor is in $120? This is really common question, and it is just a simple one. This is like a new company. It's like a new, really brand new company. If you try to compete with an advertisement that has been in the market for 12 months with more than 60, 70 bookings, that has 36 reviews, of course, since they have a much more appealing advertisement with the reviews that just back up the advertisement and the rate, they can be at that price. But since you're a new one, just brand new on the platforms, and the algorithm is not pushing you too much, and you have no reviews, then you cannot compete with those prices. So as a new company, we are going to start with really aggressive prices, with really attractive pictures, with really nice descriptions. And then as soon as we start receiving bookings and reservations, we can escalate to those $120 per night. We just need to understand that it's like a new business. We cannot just go to the market and say, I want $400 because I think my property is the most beautiful. And this is something really difficult that sometimes as a homeowner, of course, we understand your property is the most beautiful, but we need to have strategies of how to make this to happen. So this is just something additional I just wanted to add, Agar, about the prices.
Okay. One question that I'm sure that many owners, they have when it comes to numbers. So you will give them the price, and I think that the obvious price will be, okay, so what can I do? What features can I add to my property to actually increase the price? In your opinion, what will be those features to increase the price of the rent?
Yeah, of course. This is something that sometimes people think that to have smart TVs or to have like a laundry set with the washer and the dryer. Sometimes they think that if they provide like bicycles, that will increase the rate. But actually, it's not happening, at least in Quintana Roo. What we notice is that if you invest in a laundry system, it's not really making the difference. It's not like a decision maker for the guest. They basically just want to have like to maximize the occupancy in the property and to have a really nice internet. And if we talk about what makes like the difference between the rates, I would say is the location. Also, of course, if you can decorate one of your walls to be more nowadays, everything in Instagram is getting trend. So what we notice is some of the properties just make a really nice wall with a good decoration, that it can be the main face of your advertisement. If you invest in make this wall more attractive or appealing, that make a big difference. So going back to the question, additional appliances like dishwashers or laundries are not making differences. Bicycles are not making differences. Not even talk about vehicles. This is not the way you want to go right now. Not in Quintana Roo, at least right now. But if we talk about maximize the occupancy of your property, it means a smart furniture for like a sofa that you can make a queen bed, a nice sofa, not just a sofa that just this is not stable and cannot accommodate an adult people. No, we're talking about like a big, nice sofa that it can just go into a queen bed. This is something that you can really add to your property to add like to maximize the occupancy. And the second one is a good internet. The third one is a good decoration for your main ad, for your main picture. And I would say the fourth one is just going to be the we talk about the smart furniture, we talk about the wall, we talk about the internet, and
location.
And the location. Basically, this is what it making the rates to have a big differentiator.
Okay, so that leads me to my next question. Let's talk about locations. and you are living those numbers every day. In your opinion, what will be a very good location to invest to get higher numbers?
Yeah, of course. I mean, this is a saying here within Bacasa that the closer you go to the beach, the more money you can ask, right? So basically, right now, if you are really close to the beach, this is making the numbers just by themselves. You don't need to make too much magic. Just with a nice picture of your main door, your main window showing the ocean view, this is selling by themselves. But here's really important: the location. It doesn't matter if it's close to the beach or it's close to maybe like in Playa del Carmen. If you're close to the Fifth Avenue or to the main area where are the nightlife located, then you are in the hot spot. If we talk about Tulum, if you are in premium locations like Section 8 or like Aldeasama, then you are in the right spot. If we go to Cancun, if we go to the whole hotel zone, basically you are in the spot. There is an additional point that I would like to mention, and I hope this is a takeaway for you guys, that Airbnb, together with the Quintana Roo government, they're about to introduce the new laws that they're going to restrict where you can do short-term rentals and where you cannot. So fortunately, you really need to trust your realtors. That should be the one to be informed about what are going to be the areas that are going to be allowed to do short-term rentals. That's why I think Riviera Maya, they really know where they can just promote those areas, because if you happen to buy, for an example, in Playa del Carmen, if you go out of Federal, uh, we believe this is going to be restricted for short-term rentals. As the same in Zona Hotelera from Cancun, if you go out of that zone and you enter to different districts, like closer to the center, in Cancun, unfortunately, it's not going to be allowed for short-term rentals. Not only for the government that now they're going to issue a permit, but the platform by itself, they will not allow you to locate your property within the map. So this is something that you really need to understand nowadays, especially in Tulum, where some of them want to sell you the experience of the jungle, but what is coming right now is, as soon as they define when is going to be the location that is going to be allowed for short-term rentals, then wow, it's going to be a big revolution. So trust your realtor. Try to find someone who knows about short-term rentals. Why? Because this is about to enter probably in the next months, and all those who are far away from that areas, they will not be able to do more than long-term rentals. So this is a really important one. Fortunately, we belong to the private chamber of short-term rentals in Quintana Roo. So we basically taking properties that are only within those zones, or the zones that we are pushing to be included within the short-term rentals perimeter. So this is a takeaway. Location is very, very important. And if you want to know more about the locations that we recommend, we can disclose this straight to the Riviera Maya Real Estate, and so you can have them for your further information. So yeah, location is very, very important. And one more comment is, many people complains that many homeowners who want to invest, and they say, I'm afraid to invest in fifth with 25th with 22 23 because I'm getting closer to the bar zone and probably noise. There are always customers for everything. So there are customers for those who are looking for the peace and quiet of Playa del Carmen, that is starting from the 46. But there are others who really likes to be in the spot, straight to the bar street, and both are performing well. We really segment the people and the locations and the properties. So it basically depends of where you want to invest and if you want to use your property for yourself. So what is more suitable for you? You want to be next to the bar area that is much more alive, or you want to be more in the peaceful area, right? So just be sure that you are within the short-term rentals perimeter if you want to use it for that purpose.
Amazing. Thank you so much for sharing. Again, uh, again, you're giving another point of view that is so, so important in this process of buying a property here. Guys, if you have questions, don't forget you can just comment below. And don't forget that in the end, Ivan has a very, very nice giveaway only for members of this group. So it's worth staying until the end. Another question. So let's say somebody is just watching us and is saying to himself, you know what, it sounds like easy peasy. I can do this on my own. In your opinion, first, do you think that somebody can do it on his own? And I want to hear your opinion.
Yeah, that's a good question. It's a very funny one because everyone thinks that it's simple. It seems simple. Fortunately, I'm not working in operations for Vacasa, and I say fortunately because we look the internal channel and it is a chaos 24/7. And it seems easy. You say, come on, it's just a housekeeper and some like a maintenance guy that can just assist me any moment. But it is not like that. When we talk about short-term rentals and people that comes for holidays and just to spend a great vacations, everything happens. So believe me, you don't want to be bothered on Sunday 3 a.m. because someone just lost the keys or because someone just cannot open. And then when we send assistance, we realize that they are in the wrong floor. And there are many things that, believe me, it's hard. Particularly in areas like Tulum, when we go in some areas that are with no signal sometimes, so the electricity is not really stable. They will just bother you every single moment, and it seems easy, but then when you start having movement at your property, wow, this become a big challenge. Since starting from the laundry, starting from like if something happened at the property like a leakage, and then even if you have someone to rely on, communication is not that easy. Probably if you live within like if you live next to the property you want to rent by yourself, that will be probably an option. But again, if it is going to be like an investment, I don't think you want to spend all your time answering just questions like what is located, do you have a kitchen, is the swimming pool hot. Believe me, it's time consuming. Probably if then you have 10 properties, well then it might make sense for you to have your local team and then have someone who can answer all the questions and all the needs of your guest. But as for what I can see, is really complex. It's not that simple unless you are right in the place with a local team that you can just trust 24/7, 365 days a year. Otherwise, it's not that easy.
Okay. Thank you. Yeah, I get this also a lot. Like I will try to do this on my own for a while. Okay, that's okay. You can try. In the end, you can try everything. That's okay that you can try. Then you can appreciate the service that you're receiving and you can pay the price that this company is offering you. And that leads me to my next question. So let's talk about Vacasa. Can you explain us about who is Vacasa, what is Vacasa, what do you offer, and a bit about pricing?
Absolutely. So, well, Vacasa, we are the pioneers in terms of property management for short-term rentals. We started in 2009. We're an American company that it was founded in Portland, Oregon. But more than that, we focus on the homeowner. There are some other platforms that are more focused on the guest, but we really focus on protect the owner. So what it means is that we basically run this service to pamper the homeowner. What it means, we have an app where you can track everything that is happening within your property on real time. You have your calendar, you have your statements, you have your performance there. You have a 24/7 for homeowners that has any emergency. And we basically manage around 42,000 properties in 5 international markets. That is Canada, USA, Mexico, Colombia, Costa Rica, and Belize. In Mexico, we start since 2018. We're close to the 380 properties. You can find us in Quintana Roo, Guadalajara, and Baja California Sur. And what is important about Vacasa is that we are an army. We are over 5,000 employees, and we have a legal department, we have a channel department, we have a 24/7 in English, French, and Spanish. And the platforms, we have three different platforms, one for homeowners, one for guests, and the third one for travel agencies. And right now we're building the fourth one for housekeeping. So once they do the cleaning, they need to make a video. So it's going to be audit from time to time to see that to just to show that we are accomplishing with the Vacasa standards. And yeah, we are actually the ones who introduced the pet friendly policy. And a funny fact about Vacasa is that when we introduced this pet friendly policy, our first pet was a pig. It was a mini pig. And of course, the experience was not that good as we were expecting. And then we switched for only dogs and cats. So yeah, this is some interesting fact about Vacasa. And we are trying right now just to do some additional services as in the States. So what it means is that right now we're trying also to implement smart locks in some of the top 5 tier properties. And we're also trying to implement some additional smart devices to reduce the consumption of electricity. But this is something that we're working for this present year. So this is about Vacasa, and this is what we're doing right now.
Okay. Can you share a bit about Vacasa, the prices that you charge compared to the market, or a bit about how much does it cost to work with you?
Yeah, well, we have a flat management fee it costs 25% of the booking that you have in your property. Normally in the industry in Mexico, you will find rates from 20 to 30% of management fee, plus an additional monthly fee of like $200 to $300. So it means that even if you have no reservations, you need to pay those companies $200 to $300 just for watching out your property. With Vacasa, this is not the standard. We basically charge you only if you have reservations. So since we manage all the marketing channels, if you have no reservation, that means that we are not doing correct our job. So why we're going to charge you if your property is not making numbers, right? So this is really like a partnership. And our agreement actually says like that. If you don't make money, we don't make money. So for an instance, if there is a hurricane and within that month there is no way to make reservations, well, we have to do a refresh cleaning every 10 to 15 days. It depends the area. In Playa del Carmen, normally there is not that humid as Tulum. It's every 15 days. In Tulum, we go to monitor your property every 10 days in case that you have no reservation. We do a refresh cleaning. We open everything. We check that the moisture is not eating your furniture, and this is at no price. But once you have a reservation, we charge you 25%. What it is included in that management fee is basically you will have a local team working there that is bilingual, from maintenance to housekeeping. You basically have a 24/7 for homeowners and guests. You have a platform for you as an owner, a platform for the guest. You will have a professional photo session for your property, as well as 3D tour at no charge. And finally, every time we do the cleaning, we're going to replenish all the amenities like toiletries, soap, shampoo, conditioner, sponges for doing the dishes, and soap for the dishes, and basically all what you need for your property to be in nice conditions for the guest. It's only 25% when you have a reservation. If there is no reservations, there is no additional fee. And if you need us to pay your services like internet, HOA, and electricity, we can pay on your behalf at not additional charge, but we are going to deduct that amount for your monthly performance. It means that if you make $2,000 a month and you need to pay electricity for around $75, then we're going to deduct the 75 from your monthly performance. You don't need to deposit anything. We just discount straight, and everything is going to be shown in your statement month by month.
Mm-hmm. Okay, and one more thing that you didn't mention, but I'm sure that you do cover, and this is a question that I get a lot. What about taxes? When you are earning money here, you have to pay taxes. Who is paying those taxes?
Yeah, that's a good question, actually, right? Because Big Brother is watching all the time. So basically, here it depends according what is your strategy. And what I mean is that if you are an American with an American bank account and you don't want to obtain and you don't want to open a Mexican bank account and you don't have time to obtain your tax ID number in Mexico, because right now this is actually a big issue here in Mexico. So what you can do is within the app of Bacasa, you can introduce your bank information and you will need to fulfill a W-9 form that is exactly to report the taxes that you are obtaining for a property that is making money in Mexico. Then, if you want to proceed with the Mexican bank account, well, it's basically you need to introduce your bank account information should be a Mexican bank account. If you have a company and you open a company in Mexico, it can be also on the name of that company. And once we obtain the money, we pay once a month all what is related with the previous month. So once we receive the payment, once we emit the payment to your Mexican bank account, we will deposit the taxes, because in Mexico, when you make a reservation through any platform, now you need to pay like a value added tax. So we as Bacasa, we are going to collect that tax. And then we take that tax and we deposit back to you, to your Mexican bank account. So then with your accountant or your bookkeeper in Mexico, you will need to emit an invoice month by month or every 6 months or once a year about those taxes that we collect on your behalf and we deposit to your account. And then you will need to pay to the authorities. This is something that it depends according to your strategy. So if you have a LLC in the States, you can also apply with the LLC and report with the W-9. If you have a Canadian bank account, well, it will work in the same way. You will introduce your bank account and then you will report to the authorities in Canada. It depends how you want to do it.
Mm-hmm. Really makes sense. Thank you. Actually, I really get this question a lot. Okay, I think that we covered all my questions, but I don't know if some of our viewers, they have questions. So far, we didn't receive any questions. So guys, if you do have any questions that we didn't cover in this interview, please comment below before we go into our giveaway. I'll give just like a few seconds to see if somebody wants to comment or ask her something. But I think that it was a very, very complete information. For me, it was so important to bring you because, again, we are in two different sides of the market. I'm bringing the clients to invest in the property. You are showing the aftermath. So it was very, very important to me also to bring you and do like a very complete service. So I thank you so much for coming, Ivan. And I think it was very educational and made a lot of sense when it comes to numbers. Well, if we don't have any numbers, if you don't have any questions, do you want to share your screen and show your giveaway? That I think that will make a lot of sense for our viewers. Okay, so guys, we are now, can you share your screen? Let's see, I don't see it here. Yes, I can see that. Add to the screen.
Awesome.
There we have. Okay.
So yeah, we have a giveaway for all the people who is watching us for today. We basically are offering a lean-in program. What it means is that just within this month, if you mention that you saw us in this live channel, we basically will be able to offer to you a free line-in and Terry program for 1 year. What it means, it includes everything that you need in terms of towels for all your guests, and all the blankets and all the covers for all your beds for 12 months free of charge. So if you mention that you saw us today, we will basically able to offer you this as an incentive of watching us and get informed of what is short-term rentals. It basically cover you again for 12 months, all the linen and terry that is needed for your property. So this is a good gift, a good giveaway. Why? Because in terms of towels, we're talking about shower towels, uh, beach towels, face towels, shower mat, hands towel. And in terms of linen, it's basically all you need for your beds to be ready for your guests. So we're giving this giveaway for 12 months if you just mentioned that you saw us today. And if for any reason you happen not to apply within this month, we have a second giveaway that is it will last till July, sorry. So basically we are offering you a smart lock. If you sign with us within Bacasa and you mentioned that you saw us in this live program, we basically are going to install for you for free this smart lock for your property. So basically this is the giveaway we are sharing with you guys, and I think this is everything from my side.
Thank you so much. So guys, if you are watching this live and you're interested to learn more, just you can comment below Vacasa, the word Vacasa, and Ivan will reach out to you directly, or I will reach out to you directly and I will refer you to Ivan. It's a good giveaway because we all need these, and usually the developers, they will deliver the unit maybe with just the basic, the bed, the kitchen, the bathroom, but all the important things, the extras, is not included. So this is a really good giveaway. Thank you so much, Ivan, to treat so well my viewers, my members in this group. Again, I see that we have no question at that point, but again, if you're watching us the replay and you have a question, just comment below. We are monitoring this group. So at any moment that you're watching and you have questions, just comment below and we will reach out to you and we'll give you all the information that you need. No important in which stage you are right now of renting, buying, considering buying. You might have more questions, the one that we just covered. Ivan, thank you so much for coming. I took some notes. I hope that our viewers also took some notes, but those numbers are really make sense for me. Thank you.
Thank you very much for the opportunity. And just like a final comment is, if you're looking for any property manager company, there are some few points that you really need to take in consideration. And it's going to be, do they have a tracking system? Second one is going to be, how long is the agreement to the contract? Because sometimes they are making you sign for over 3 years. And the third one finally is, how long can you enjoy your property? Some of them you finish like acquiring a time sharing program. Some of them just limit you for 15 days, 20 days to use your property. So just look at the contract carefully, look at what they include in the management fee. And if you have any question, just feel free to ask me. Feel free just to go to your realtor and go straight and ask for information. That's basically your right. And thank you much for your time. And thank you very much, Hagar, for the opportunity.
Thank you so much. We will wrap up this live for today. Enjoy the rest of the evening, wherever you're watching us. Thanks for watching and stay safe. Bye-bye.